Okay, let's make this quick, okay? The artists who blow up and are most successful, it's not the ones who have the best music, and we know that to be true, okay? It's the artists that have the most control of whatever they make and like the brand that they build, okay? And I'm gonna tell you exactly why, okay? People don't stick because of one song, okay? You won't blow up off of one song, and if you do, it's gonna fade very quickly. And I think we've all seen that with the quick rappers. They have like one song and then fade away. And we're gonna talk about like why is that happening? Why do they fade off so quickly? Well, it's because like you don't like get a fan base or like blow up or stick with people after one song. No, you have to become familiar with people. You probably heard the saying that people need to see you 7 times before they buy your product, okay? And the idea can apply to music as well, because people kind of have to see you 7 times on like short form content in order to kind of get familiar with you or kind of like go to your page and listen to your music. But the thing that people forget is that like seeing you 7 times is not enough, okay? There's one little thing you have to add in there, and it's the fact that you need to show up and they need to see you in the same way 7 times, okay? So if you're posting a video of you jumping out of a helicopter one week and then a video of you singing in your bedroom, like those don't go together, okay? They don't correlate. There's no kind of familiarity with that, okay? So that people need to see you in the same way over and over again in order to kind of understand you or kind of like get familiar with you. And that's kind of the strategy, okay? You want people to get the same impression, the same tone, the same energy, the same feeling when they see you a bunch of times over and over again, okay? And the problem with that is that it's hard for artists to do, okay? Most people don't do that, and it is because they don't control anything, okay? They rely on everyone else to do work for them, or they kind of outsource things. They have a guy they buy beats from, and the guy you send to make mixes, and then you have someone who records your content and whatever. And that is completely sabotaging this familiarity thing, the familiarity factor that you need to have in order for people to kind of buy into your brand, okay? Like that's why I'm so kind of adamant that this is like the new meta to like win in like to kind of build a good brand. You know, you need to become a polymath. What is a polymath? Well, polymath is someone who can do a lot of things, who is kind of, you know, knowledgeable and able in a lot of different areas, like a jack of all trades, okay? You're probably good at making music, that's probably your thing, but the thing is like you haven't mastered all of those other things. And the problem with that is like you can't compete with a record label, because at the end of the day a record label will fix someone like to produce and someone to shoot the content and someone to fix the brand and whatever. At the end of the day, when you're like an independent artist and don't have those people, you have to learn how to do it yourself, and that is like where most people fail, okay? When you learn to produce and design visuals and kind of write and mix and design and do everything at like a decent level at least, and then being excellent at your one thing, then everything will like tie into your identity. You can make sure that everything ties into like this brand, this identity, and it will become so much more easier for people to understand your vision when you're kind of controlling or having a hand in every part of it, okay? You can like choose to craft whatever vision you want. And the problem with like artists these days, because like you have the thing that you want to do, I get it, the music, whatever, but like you have to put kind of that pride aside and you have to try and learn like all of these things that go into being an artist in this day and age, okay? Because as I said before, like the labels, they will have a guy for the visuals and they will have a guy for the content strategy and they will have a guy for this and that. And if you don't get like efficient at doing all of these things, okay, you won't be able to kind of like create at the level for the record label. But also you won't, like if you start paying someone to do your mixing and paying someone to produce for yourself and paying someone for a music video, then what's going to happen is you're going to lose that kind of collective identity and brand that you have, okay? So try and do it yourself. You're going to save money, but you're also going to achieve that kind of collective identity that works so that people see a familiar thing, so people see the same brand over and over again. Those 7-8 times that people need to see before they buy is going to come so much more easier if you try and like actually learn how to do everything that is required yourself, okay? When it comes to release strategies and everything for artists, I always say just post more, post consistently, post more songs, post more singles, whatever, drop as much as possible. And like I had someone tell me that is impossible, it's too expensive, it takes too much time. Well, hear me out. Then if you learn how to mix, produce at a level, you know, record and do everything yourself, then it's gonna take significantly less time and it's gonna be pretty like cheap. It's gonna be almost for free, if not for free, you know? And what's gonna happen is firstly, you're gonna be able to be more consistent with your output, okay? you're gonna be able to create a consistent vision, but also like the work will be more consistent. You're gonna make more music, you're gonna make more work. You know, everything's just gonna be easier. You don't have to wait for people to do stuff for you. You don't have to pay. You don't have to wait for your salary because you're doing it yourself for free. And like that is what like every big artist had before they blew up. Either they had a team who did everything for them, or they learned how to do it themselves. Okay, and I'm assuming you don't have a big team behind you. I'm assuming you're not a nepo baby because you would not need to be watching this video. I'm assuming that the most realistic path is for you to try to learn these things yourself. And like, no, this is like the big one because I'm just telling you to learn and trying to like empower you. Wow. But at the end of the day, it might be hard, but it is not that hard. Okay, if you learn, like if you know how to sing and rap, okay, producing, if you listen to a lot of music, then producing won't be hard for you. You'll probably be a good producer. You probably know what sounds good. Okay, so just learning how to make chord progressions, learning the instruments, whatever. Don't have to learn a lot. Okay, just hop on a freaking you can hop on BandLab, whatever. Just try and figure out how to do some of the production process. Even just learning how to do drums or learning how to play the piano, just one thing. Okay, don't have to do a lot, you know. And not even that, you don't even have to learn to produce. I say if you're gonna scrap one thing, okay, don't learn how to produce, find someone who can produce, but do everything else. Learn how to do everything else. And the big one with that is YouTube. You have so much knowledge on YouTube. You have so much knowledge on the internet. Okay, it's such a key factor for you. You can learn anything instantly. It's so easy, you know. And you need to take that kind of advantage and use it, man. You can learn everything pretty quickly. You can learn everything instantly, really, in the flash of a search, you know. And the problem and the reason why artists don't do this is because they just want to do the thing that they know to be fun, you know. They don't want to step out of their comfort zone. If you're good at rapping, you're gonna want to rap because you're good at that. You know how to do it. You know you're gonna be good at it, which I understand. It can be like weird stepping out of that comfort zone, but like telling you, in the long run, you're gonna be benefiting so incredibly much from that. So, you know, and the more you learn, like the more you're gonna be able to contribute to other people in collaborations. Okay, if you're a producer or whatever, you probably know that like the best way to kind of like move up the ranks and blow up is to kind of like give value to others. Okay, and that goes for any artist. Okay, if you can like reach out to people and do collaborations, you're gonna be growing at an enormous rate. Okay, find people who have the kind of same genre as you, same like target audience as you, and collaborate. And when you become a polymath, you're going to be able to reach out to producers and maybe rap on a song, and you're going to be able to reach out to rappers and maybe produce a song or whatever and mix and create visuals. You're going to be able to do so much more and like collaborate with so many more people, build out a network. I'm telling you, like it's so sought after, someone who knows to do kind of a lot of things in the art space, you know. And like the big one is control, though, like having control of your brand, being able to like manufacture and create like all of the things that encompass your brand, you know. There's not a lot of like a lot of people doing it like in this day and age, like doing everything themselves. And I think that's like such a big thing that people don't realize, especially like looking at some of the artists who have like kind of done it themselves and like created it like an independent rise up. Like a lot of them, they know how to do a lot of things. Okay, and especially like if you don't want to be an independent artist, you're trying to get signed, even that, like looking at most artists, they know how to mix themselves, they know how to produce and record themselves. So just learning how to do that. And if it's one thing you learn, it's social media branding. Okay, it's social media marketing and branding, because that is how people see you. Okay, that is how people, like, you don't have to make good music to blow up. Okay, you just need to make sure that people connect to it, people find it, whatever. You can manufacture kind of like engagement. So you don't have to make good music. You just need to make sure that people see it. Okay, so I'm trying to just say that learn social media marketing for music. And if you struggle with that, we have a little call. It's for free. I'm just gonna blabber on about maybe what you can do. Take a look at yourself. We're creating this little thing to help independent artists do that. If you're interested, just subscribe. We'll try and keep you updated. I don't know though. Just have a good life and take some action.